Hello everyone, Cleric here once again, with a kind of a special announcement. One big announcement and a secondary long one along with it. So we'll get the cat out of the bag right away up front. We are getting ready to host a tournament that I'm affectionately dubbing Cleric's Armored Core Ratio Tournament. This is a system that I had an idea for, and the people from my Discord, a lot of the people in there, just kind of ran with the idea, went nuts, and just kind of made it work. And I'm really impressed. I'll mention them here in a little bit. But let me kind of get nitty gritty. So the ratio system is an idea I had specifically after watching the first week or so of PvP in people's tournaments and people complaining about certain things. And I wanted an answer in the game that wasn't just outright banning this and changing this and banning this and only one of this. I wanted something that not just banned certain parts, that then basically encourage a different kind of meta. Because what happens when you have ban lists, you get rid of those metas and you make what's called a banned list meta, which essentially means, oh, because there's no Zimmermans, oh, because there's no missile boats, then we have this instead. It's one of those things that you don't want to just encourage. Okay, so because there's no Zimmermans, because there's no missiles, that means you have to have these other things. So I was thinking there, how are we going to do this in a way that makes it possible to still see some of those things, but encourage even greater variety of builds? So for those who aren't familiar with ratio systems, the system was actually invented, or part of what's called Capcom vs SNK 2. In the game Capcom vs SNK 2, there was a mode called ratio mode that let you pick your three characters. CVS2 was normally a 3-character game, and ratio essentially lets you give power to certain characters or not. So you had the option of picking 3 characters, 2 of which were at ratio 1 and 1 at ratio 2. The 2 ratio 1s are being the standard power, ratio 2 being have a little more health and do a little more damage. You could have 2 ratio 2s, which they both did more damage, a little more health, or you could have even like a ratio 4, which is 1 person, 1 character, and have a lot of health and a lot of damage. Well, Justin Wong created something a couple years ago for Marvel vs. Capcom 2, where he assigned basically a tier list or a point list to different characters in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and said you have to make a game and do a tournament with 3 characters. Once again, it's a 3-character game, and you have different point values for different characters, and your team has to be at this number or below. So the super high-end characters were still pickable in the game, but they were like, example, I think his points were normally 7-point tournaments. You could still pick a high-tier character, but the high-tier character was worth 5 points, taking most of your points, meaning you had 2 lower tier characters. Or you could go for a 4-point character, get a 2 and a 1. Go for a 3-point character, get a couple 2s, or get a couple 3-point characters and a 1-point character. The idea essentially to encourage to see people have tournament play, upper level tournament play with characters you almost never see in the game. So I had the idea to do the same thing in Armored Core, and I was discussing with a bunch of people, and they love the idea too. And next thing I know, within a couple days, someone has a very base idea of how to do it, and the math people just went crazy. So seriously, a huge shout out to Cassus, who did a ton of stuff on the math end. Thank you to Drifty and Gray. I knew you guys did a lot of testing and help with them to get these figured out. And there's a whole bunch more of you that just, seriously, you guys did so much work. There's so many things you guys did in this game that as I was watching the system grow, it was incredible to see you guys just kind of take it and run with it, and I am thoroughly impressed, and I cannot thank you enough. So they have done the math on a Google sheet where we actually have a point system where you can put different parts in through the builder, and it gives you the point total at the bottom, lets you know what you have. So we're going to be doing the first ratio tournament on October 14th at 10 a.m. on PC, and it is open tournament on PC, and anyone can register, and there will be prizes. First place will get a $60 Amazon card, a 3D printed trophy that is based on Jacko from Armored Core Last Rave and Armored Core Nexus. It's something my brother is working on for me. That's a prototype I have there. A special emblem and a special winner role in my Discord. Second place will get $30 Amazon card, and third place will get a $15 Amazon card. Throw on some skin in the game to kind of really push this ratio tournament a little bit to its limit to see how people do with it. And look, the point total is going to be 200 points. You have 200 points total to work with. Every frame part, booster, FCS, your expansion slots, all your weapons all have parts. And yes, the things you expect to be very expensive are going to be very expensive. As the time of the publishing of this video, registration is open. The builder will not be quite available yet. That is coming soon. We're cleaning up some of the math on that first. And the good news is that we're talking with the guys. They agreed to kind of make this, we think this could be very helpful to the PvP community and tournament scene as a whole. We're going to open source this thing, make it available to the public. You can take it and modify the point totals in it. So you can have higher point totals or lower point totals. You can adjust things, modify things as you wish. And there's going to be a master one that they're working on in the back end, and we'll release updated versions periodically with better math or errors fixed in it, so to speak. So feel free to go nuts with it, enjoy it. Feel free to use it as much as you want in your tournaments. If you want to give credit to me, Cleric, I had the idea. I feel like it's not mine because other people did most of the work. It almost calls Cassus's ratio thing. I'd be good with that too, personally. But seriously, like I really feel like if you approach this and willing to put the couple extra minutes it takes to build this thing, I think you'll see a really cool variety of builds in the game and things you wouldn't normally get to see by using this kind of ratio system. So we're calling it the ratio tournament system. It's open to the public to use as much. I look forward to adding the links in the description of this video below. Eventually when it comes out, I'll add them below, add the actual tournament page and start DG when that happens. And we'll do more of these in the future. Oh, and in case you're curious, yeah, that guy is going to be back once again commentating with me on this ratio tournament on October 14th. So Zealous will making a return. The two of us will be commentating once again and having a good old time doing the whole FGC commentator thing. So if you have any questions, comments, join the Discord. You can go on there and ask questions. We're open book. We're trying to make this thing really work out. We're open to feedback also. Once you get your hands on the form and look at the points, you think maybe some things cost too much, you think maybe things cost a little not enough. We're very open to feedback. We want to make this thing as balanced and as, like, we think even kiltered as possible. And let me know, is this something you like? Something you want to see more of? Something you want to see and kind of enjoy better? Don't forget about the tournament on the 14th. Information on joining the tournament below is there. We'll have a build submission thing eventually available to you to submit there as well. And honestly, I am super excited for this system. I think it's really cool. I think what the guys did were great with this, and I think it could really help liven up the tournament scene online with Armored Core 6 until PvP patches come. Now granted, once the patches happen, we'll have to rebalance it obviously based on what we see. We still plan on using this ratio system though, depending on how well. Now granted, if From Software makes an absolutely perfectly balanced game, not likely to happen, but if it happens to happen, you know, so be it. We don't need it as much, but I think even then this still might get used because you like to see, again, a wider variety of parts get used in Armored Core 6, especially in the tournament scene. So as always, like and subscribe, comment, let me know what you think, join the Discord, hang out with some cool people, and I will see you in the next video.